controversy that's brought up by a recent article in USA Today. Is it magically healing or is it quackery? Well, I don't think anything is magic. I think it's healing.
Mhm.
Is it quackery? I don't think so. Is there quackery around? Maybe. There's another interesting TV show, I forgot which one, 60 Minutes?
Uh-huh.
I think aired on Sunday, talking about Steve Jobs. The commentary is that did Steve Jobs die because of his faith in alternative medicine?
That is kind of interesting. And also, for those of you who are just tuning into the show and want to have a little bit of some definitions as we go along, we're going to kind of be throwing out some words. When we talk about Eastern medicine, very often we're talking about kind of central to China, but that may include some of the countries surrounding China as well.
Absolutely. There are a lot of developments in many other countries,
Sure.
including Korea, Germany, Japan, many other
Yeah,
countries.
absolutely. They do tend to be more holistic. Okay, so that's the other term. When you hear us say Eastern medicine, holistic, we are kind of lumping everything into that same category. Nutrition, I don't necessarily look at as holistic medicine, even though that's integrated into holistic medicine. Sometimes it's talked about from our physician side. So a little bit about definitions. Go ahead.
Nutrition, I wanted to add something to it. To me, there are two bodies of nutrition.
Mhm.
One is the nutrition we know of as vitamins, calories, minerals, the healthy choices of food,
Yes.
groups.
Mhm.
The other kind of nutrition is something I grew up with in China.
Mhm.
That is the property of food.
I
So
understand.
there are different categories of food. They actually can be beneficial to different parts of the body in the meridian term.
Mm.
They will help you to heal. These are the things we will discuss later on in our shows, in our health tips, many of them.
Yeah, stay tuned toward the end of the show, and we'll always be sharing with you a couple of good health tips having to do with maybe that might be a little bit more homespun strategies to be able to have good ways to heal. And we may also be giving you some good advice from the standpoint of fitness as well. So stay tuned for those toward the end of the show.
Absolutely. So before we go on with the show, I want to make a disclaimer.
Yes, thank you.
The health advices and recommendations we make are not meant to replace any of the physician's prescription or advices. These are in conjunction, meant to be used in conjunction with your current medical treatments.
Absolutely. So we don't mean to replace your current physician. What we're doing on this show is educating our listeners. Once we've educated, take that to your physician, whether it be a holistic physician or whether it be a medical doctor, and make sure you consult your doctor before applying any of our advice.
Right. This kind of leads into our discussion early on with Steve Jobs. Did he or did he not die because of his choice of alternative medicine?
Share a little bit about his story and what it is that USA Today was talking about in their article, as well as 60 Minutes.
Right. I don't think you saw the 60 Minutes, did you?
No, I actually
Yeah,
didn't, but I did see the USA Today article.
Yeah, basically they had a interview with Steve Jobs before he passed away. He expressed the regret that he did not have the surgery early enough. Instead, he chose alternative medicine for 9 months before he took the Western medicine's advice of surgery, even though people around him, his wife, his family, his co-workers, everybody wanted him to have the surgery. Well, the problem I have is here. You can choose alternative medicine at the same time, listen to these doctor's advices, the family's advice, and have the surgery. Alternative medicine, as far as I know, is not a religion. You don't have to be faithful to it.
Right.
You use it to your advantage. You use it along the side, in the main track, either way, but it's not something you have to choose against.
And there may,
traditional medicine.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there may be some application of the Eastern medicine or holistic medicine. For example, Eastern medicine has a lot more to do with energy and how energy flows through your body, correct?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to give an example of me, okay? And Dr. Lee laughs at me. I mean, she belly laughs when it comes time to talk about this. But I actually, for years, had 2 knee injuries. One was an old wrestling injury. The other one was a car injury from a car accident where I was a passenger. And so both my knees struggled. And so someone gave me some great advice 20 years ago, emphasis on 20 years ago. And so I struggled with my knees. I tried to jog, and it was, a mile and a half is about as far as I could go, which if anybody knows about anything about calorie burning, that's only about 120 calories that I would burn going out jogging. That's not a lot. That's, half of a Snickers bar to go out there and jog for a mile and a half. So it didn't do a lot of good for me. So 20 years later, there was a band that was that magnetically aligned the energy in my knees, and I thought, you know what? The reason for 20 years I ignored it is that I thought it was a little bit hokey, all right? But I obviously didn't think it was too hokey because for 20 years I kept it around. So I about 3 months ago, I pulled it out, put it on, and I was able to run for 6 miles. Think about it. I didn't believe in it.
You almost threw it away.
I almost threw it away.
In the spring cleaning.
And so, first of all, I deserved what I got, bad knees for 20 years, when all I had to do, I didn't even have to have faith in the Eastern medicinal side of aligning energy in my knee. All I need to do is pull it on and go and not even believe in it, and it would work.
The take-home point here is that if you have a knowledge or some nutritional food, nutritious food, or anything, good advice, if you don't take action in it.
Yes.
It's just going to sit in the closet being a piece of junk and being possibly thrown away, and you're never going to get the benefit out of it.
Absolutely. Now, that's actually one of the things that led me to become a co-host here on Ageless Living, is that during that 20 years, I went through a cycle of being an athlete when I hurt my knees, to not being such an athlete. So my weight gain rose almost 100 pounds. And I was able to lose. Now, part of that was just me changing from a young kid to a man. So about 20 of those pounds were just, bone structure changing, muscle, that kind of thing. So I actually lost 80 pounds. So the point is that my journey from from having an experience of being 100 pounds overweight to getting back to an ideal weight, and how I did that, that's part of I'm in the more experiential side. I don't have a doctor's degree. I actually do have an expired physical trainer's license, but I only got it for myself. I actually never had any clients.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I just got it because I wanted to learn. I was so hungry to learn, and I was able to apply those strategies to be able to lose weight. So that's a little bit about my contribution to the show, and as a co-host, if anybody's wondering why me without any true qualifications, I'm very passionate about the life change that happened to me, both internally as well as the way people treated me in business. So if you are listening to this show and you have any kind of a business that relies on what your image is, make sure you tune into the show, because we're going to be talking about image consulting too. Image consulting from remaining happy, peaceful. The whole image is not just how you dress, that you've gone to a med spa and look great, and that you're fit and eating well nutritionally. It's the overall balance, the kind of the yin and the yang, to use an Eastern medicinal term. So it looks like we are close to having time for a break. So when we come back, we're going to pick up again on the Eastern versus Western medicine, and the holistic medicinal practices versus the Western medicinal practices, and what Dr. Lee and I absolutely love, the term that is being used more and more, is integrative medicine and complementary medicine. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk more about that and the controversy surrounding all of that. So don't go away. When we come back, we'll be joined by Dr. Lee and myself talking about integrative medicine.